I stand alone during the reprieve of the past waters. I'm no longer hiding from my personality, so the stronger tide is coming, and I've been running, trying to function fine without my mind, climbing out this corner. See, I was born a pawn away from the rotten potatoes, a forgotten rebel trapped in the absence of heaven's heavy hands to develop an evident never bendable. So it's probably better if I solve myself, because you see, that's a message to anybody that I've met that they think they know me. Don't pretend to understand none of the issues that I'm holding, because you see, I was in a rush to grow up. Look, mom, no cuts, just a stomach in disgust and the fear that I'm going nuts this year if I don't slow down.
I want to become a poet. I want to become a poet. Welcome to the Sot Banat podcast, where we explore the vibrant world of creative expressions. Join us today, where we dive into minds of arts, comedy, poetry, innovations, among others, uncovering their stories, processes, inspirations behind their work. Whether you're a creator yourself or curious about creative expressions, it's time to get started. Let's get inspired. I am your host, Dina Kiden, and my co-host is
Monica Iman. Imagination is the beginning of creation. And today we have three amazing creatives with us on the Sot Banat podcast. As Agnieszka mentioned, today's topic is creative expressions, and we're doing something a little bit different. We're having diversity in all sectors. We're having comedy, we're having modeling, and we have a poet with us. So without wasting more time, we have Mr. Ade, who is a poet, and we have little Miss Katrina, and our very own comedian, Kiden. Welcome to the Sot Banat podcast.
It's my pleasure.
So, please, I would like each of you to introduce yourselves and what you do. Tell us in depth what you do and who you are.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm by the names of Dina Kiden Victor, well known as comedienne Kiden. The young girls and was the only stand-up female comedian in South Sudan, but now by God's grace, we have another female comedians. So I do comedy because it's my talent. God gave it to me, and people call me the GMT Herself.
Wow.
Impressive.
So, Katrina, please tell us your full names and what you do.
My name is Katrina Juan Mike, and I'm a 9-year-old student at Sunrise Academy.
Awesome.
And I'm very happy to be here to represent my beautiful country and tell all of you about Little Miss and Miss Africa, a program which brings more than 15 countries together to tell people about their diverse cultures and beautiful nature around their country.
Impressive.
Ade, please take it up from there.
My name is Ade. I'm a poet. I'm a published writer of 4 poetry collection books. And basically my work rotates around experiencing emotions and just trying to understand socio-political atmosphere of South Sudan. And I use a lot of my poetry to just advocate personally, to advocate for mental health issues and also for just a different South Sudan, like socio-politically.
It's amazing.
So, beloved guest, I'm going to start with you, the GMT. I personally, abbreviations are hard for me, so I don't know, what does GMT mean? Is it in the science book or it's a personal?
No, actually, GMT is nowhere to be seen. It's only in my brain. Because GMT actually means something great to me. But at school, they usually teach us about GMT, which is a time, which is Greenwich Meridian time. Yeah. But according to me, GMT means something different. Actually, my fans asked me about the meaning of GMT, but I could not tell them because I really have plans for the GMT, and that's the GMT Foundation. And just we have started, we have the GMT dancers which is part of the plans. And also, but the GMT Foundation, maybe this year, by the end of this year, by God's grace, it will be registered. It will be an organization whereby it will support young kids, the let me say, orphans, the street kids. Yeah, that's what is in my mind since I started comedy. Because actually, living, staying without a parent, without this, I went through this because my father left me when I was still 7 years old, when I was in primary 3. But now, by God's grace, I'm in senior 2. And I really feel hard for the kids who are outside there living without their parents. That's why I planned for the GMT Foundation. And by God's grace, if I registered it and it is now a big organization where I help these kids, then I may have an event. Then I will just tell my fans what does GMT means.
So GMT is going to remain a secret, not until you officially launch your foundation.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes. So Katrina is actually Miss Environment Africa South Sudan. And please, Katrina, tell us, how did you get into the Little Miss Africa?
Even since I didn't learn about Little Miss and Miss Africa, I had a passion for modeling, yet I didn't know how to model. I thought that modeling was just putting your legs straight one after the other, yet it wasn't just that. It was putting confidence into it, hard work, and passion.
Amazing.
So, Mr. Ade, what inspired you to pursue your creative expression or your talent that is writing?
For me, it goes way back. I have a personality that my mom always used to think I'm a very persuasive person, and I can, like, you put me in a room with anybody, I can sell you anything, basically. Like, so she had this idea where she would always make me write her letters. Like, she doesn't want me to talk to her, so she's like, get a piece of paper, write a letter, and convince me through those words. So it felt like a punishment at first, like it was a punishment, yeah.
Okay.
But then growing now, I started going to, of course, like a teenager, and then you're going through a lot of things, and the society I come from, I'm taught not to express myself as a man. I cannot show fear. I cannot be vulnerable, all this kind of stuff. So it was so hard for me to have conversations with people about like what I'm going through and all of that. And the creative writing now became that outlet for me. I started writing poetry a lot. Like, what I feel, I put it down on paper. What I feel, I put it down on paper. And then it became a bigger thing now, because now I'm expressing myself. I'm performing on stages and all of that. And people are relating to my work and all of that. And so the inspiration started coming. It started coming in a way that I found an outlet through this art, something that I could not do without writing. Like, I can just sit down, let's say go for therapy and all of that. Like, it becomes hard because you've been conditioned all your life to like stay inward, don't be vulnerable, bottle it all up and all of that. And with creativity, or like with just poetry itself, what that does to me, I can tell a story of, let's say, Katrina, but that is something that I relate to, and I'm still telling the same story as me. So that becomes my inspiration, the daily stories every day, what I see people going through, what I go through and all of that inspires a lot of my work.
Awesome. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and that is a beautiful thing of art, because growing up, I actually share the same. I write a lot, and I found that a better way to express yourself is through writing. Many people don't understand this, but we who engage in that, we know what it means.
It's like you're talking to someone.
Exactly. You pour it all out, and then in a moment you just feel like, it's all out, and I'm better. And it's also so impressive to have young girls like Kiden and Katrina follow through with their passions, and it's something that we want to portray to the young girls in South Sudan. So, as a young girl, Kiden and Katrina, please tell us, how would you like other young girls to be able to pursue their talents just like you have been able to?
Well, as a young girl, I would just like to tell the young girls outside them, if you really have the talent, don't stay home and you'll be like you're shy. And even though you don't have the talent, You have to believe in yourself, have the passion. If you really love, like if you're a dancer, you have that talent of dancing, you can dance, but if you don't have the passion, you don't love it, you cannot do it, although it's your talent, but you cannot do it. But if you believe in yourself and you really have that passion, you love the talent that God gave you can really do it. And although you don't have it, just be practicing it daily. One day, one time, God may fulfill your wish and you will be perfect. So to young girls out there, I just want to tell them that they should not stay home, they should not stay down there. Because actually in South Sudan, people think that having a name or being a celebrity, it's a crime. But according to me, what I understand, being a celebrity, it's not a crime. Or being talented, it's not a crime because it's what God wants you to do. So if you really have that talent, come up with it. And your parents also have to support you. Like me, I'm proud of my mom and my uncle because they gave me full support. When I started comedy, people were like, this girl, I don't know how is she doing it. Comedy, it's not a good idea for a girl. People were talking a lot of things, but my mom and my uncle encouraged me, and they were like, if this is the talent that God gave you, go ahead with it, do it. But first thing, remember school must be the priority, because people think that when you're now talented, when you're now a celebrity, you have to leave about school. But first focus on your education. And through comedy, by the way, through my talent, I got a school sponsorship. And now I'm studying in one of the best schools in South Sudan, and that's Ashid Comprehensive School. So I would just like to tell all young girls out there, even boys, just come up with your talent and show up.
So Katrina, what's your saying?
There are many problems going on in South Sudan, and due to little misunderstandings, Africa, people come up with projects, their speeches, and you have to talk about the problems coming up in your country. You explain the problem, and you have an answer why that problem is happening and a solution to that. One of the problems people are not paying attention to is people pay attention. People pay a lot of attention to girl education. One time, can the government, at least think about boy education? Because boys are the most people struggling in the streets, washing cars to get money. And that's one of the biggest problems in South Sudan. Most of the street children are male. My project last time was about wildlife conservation. These projects, I had them from other people. Explain their point of view and tell us why these problems are happening and fix an answer so that these problems can be solved.
In your own perspective, what are some of the problems you will encounter and you think you're going to solve them through modeling? Here we go.
Modeling is not just something where you work with confidence and passion. It's something you have to be talented at. To understand Africa is one of the examples. You see, Little Studies Africa is a big organization bringing more than 50 countries together to showcase their talents and talk about the diverse cultures of their country. And the theme of Little Studies Africa is cultural diversity. So, in my perspective, most children going to Little Studies Africa tell people about the problems in their country, and some people can help them solve the problems, like maybe mostly the people as judges, as celebrities, so they can help you implement your project.
That's so true. That brings me to a day, the role of arts in self-expression.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I feel art definitely plays a very big role. It doesn't matter if you're singing or dancing or writing or whatever you're doing. Basically, like it plays a very big role. And let's say, like, for the young girls, or just even girls, we are always in this society where, like, a girl is told about perfection. Yeah, you have to have perfect looks. You have to have all of this kind of perfection. But art is not perfect. Art is not about perfection. It's about the messiness, that boldness, that everything in between that. That's where you find your expression in it. So every time I see I see young people going through a lot and all of that, like how do you channel that energy? How do you channel that energy from it being internal to letting it out? And that is where art comes in. Let's say you're struggling with yourself, and the best way you can do that, let's say Kiden, she will come and tell jokes, like you're making fun of your pain, like, oh, you're cracking jokes from your pain, and that's a way of healing in a way. You let out. So arts have played a very big role in different ways, from like advocacy, like you can be going what she just said, like projects like wildlife conservation. People are struggling, like the animals are being killed there and then all of that. How do you use your voice as an artist to like create a bigger picture for this? Right now we can have a government official come and sit here and lecture like a whole group of students about statistics of animals being killed and all of this, and everybody's going to sleep off, like they're not going to actually grasp it. But like bring a comedian or a poet to like speak their perspective about that same thing. People walk away with something, like they can remember a line, they can remember a joke, they can about that same problem, basically. So I feel like art plays that big role.
That's true. That's awesome.
The medium.
Nita Katrina, who is your role model and how has she shaped you?
A role model. My role model is myself, and also I found modeling a passion from my mom. My mom helped me find out about Little Miss South Africa. She asked me if I wanted to compete, so I said yes, and then she helped me achieve my dreams for going to Little Miss South Africa and representing South Sudan in Lagos, Nigeria.
Awesome. So you have no role model apart from yourself?
I have a role model, Samantha Rita.
Okay. How has she shaped you in the modeling industry?
I heard a lot about her because her and there is a girl in my class, Kate, and both of them went to South Africa to represent South Sudan at the competition 2021 to 2022.
Awesome. So, Mrs. Kiden, what is your biggest motivation?
Well, I don't think so, because my biggest motivation, what should I say it is? Because comedy, it's something that God gave it to me.
Okay.
And I do it with love. I do it with passion because I really like it. So I don't see any.
And in the comedian world or industry, who is your role model and how has that role model shaped you into the girl you are today?
Well, my role model, actually, if I tell you my story, I don't have a role model in comedy.
Okay.
That's it. Because when I started comedy, I was just around 8 or 9 years old. And by that time, I even don't know what comedy is because I'm just staying home. I make fun for my family and they are laughing. So my uncle inspired me. So I may say he's my role model, but the thing is, he's not a comedian.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he just told me that I'm a comedian. Then I was like, what's the meaning of comedy? Then he explained comedy is someone who makes people laugh and all this. So I was like, okay. Then he told me if I wish to be a comedian, if I really love it, if I have the passion, he will take me to one of the comedy shows, and that's Kilikilana. I will represent myself there. Then I was like, okay, I'm ready. Then by then there was a program at our area, so he said I should first perform there. When I performed there, it was really perfect. Then he took me to Kilikilana, so I started performing when I was just around 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then I started performing, so I don't have a role model, but
No, your uncle is your role model.
You do have a role model.
But the problem is he is a lawyer.
It's okay. So, Mr. Day, your story started from home, whether your mother used to tell you to write letters and all of a sudden it turned into something way different, big and impressive. But then in the poetry industry, who are you looking up to?
I mean, when I started like taking poetry seriously, like in a way that this is not
What
like
I
a side
want.
thing. This is not like a side thing, or this is not a hobby.
It's what I want.
Exactly. So I started studying this as a poet. Like,
Oh.
I had to like just study different poets' voices. People like Robert Frost. Robert Frost is one of my favorite poets because he does a lot of narrative poetry, which is something I do. Like if you listen to my work or even just read some of my books, it always feels like I'm talking to somebody. It's not. It's me talking with a friend on the other side of the table. Almost on my favorite. So like, Robert Frost is a very big influence in my work, and a few other poets, of course, the contemporary poets right now, people like Abando Leon, South Sudanese. Amazing. I've met him a couple of times. He has amazing work, and this just seeing their successes, because in this age and day, you tell somebody to poet, they look at different.
That's right.
Is that a job? So like seeing people successful like that, and through their words and through their expressions.
And what's your biggest motivation?
My biggest motivation is just real expression. It's me, like things I go through, how I turn this into art.
Wow.
Because, like I said earlier on, art is a very messy. It comes from like messy ground, from ash all over the place and all of that, and then you package it and put it out. So every single day, especially like right now in South Sudan, I feel we have so many stories that have not been written, so many stories that have not been told, so many
a lot
stories
of areas
of
that
people
we're
who are
not
just
touched.
quiet with it and all of that. So that motivates me. It puts me to see a bigger picture, and every day I'm like, I can never run out of what to write. Like,
wow.
There's so much motivation to write.
That's impressive. Whether you're a creative expression person yourself or curious about creative expression, let's get motivated as we go for the break and come back. Salam alaikum. Welcome back from the very short break. And now we are really going to witness their talents. So, Mrs. Kiden, yes, in less than 2 seconds, show us your talent.
Okay. I remember before the lockdown heat wave, my uncle went to our school and insulted our teachers, like real insult. You're stupid, I don't know which kind of teacher you're not professional. He got annoyed and he went out. So he gave me, the very moment he realized that what he did was wrong, so he gave me $100 to go and give it to our teacher as an apology. So when I reached school, I gave it the money to our teacher. The next day, our teacher came and called me. He called me, then he came close to me. He was like, Kiden, when is your uncle coming to insult me again? I was like, teacher, what? Are you stupid? Then he said, $100 is out again. Thank you.
That's impressive, and that's her talent. So, Rade, as well, we want to know your talent.
I stand alone. joined the brigade of the patriots. I'm no longer hiding from my personality, so the stronger tide is coming, and I've been running, trying to function fine without my mind, climbing out this corner. See, I was born and torn away from the rotten potatoes, a forgotten rebel trapped in the absence of heaven's heavy hands to develop an evident never bendable. So it's probably better if I solve myself, because you see, that's a message to anybody that I've met that they think they know me. Don't pretend to understand none of the issues that I'm holding, because you see, I was in a rush to grow up. Look, mom, no cuts, just a stomach in disgust, and the fear that I'm going nuts this year if I don't slow down.
I want to become
That's
a
so
poet.
deep.
I want to become a poet. Mrs. Katrina, what is your talent, baby girl? Showcase that.
I want to sing Stars You're Beautiful by Alicia.
Go ahead, baby girl.
She has dreams to be an envy, so she's starving, cover girl, see nothing she says. Beauty is pain and there's beauty in everything. It's a little bit of hunger. I could go a little while longer. She fades away. She don't see her perfect. She don't understand. She's really
Impressive.
that beauty goes deeper than the surface. Oh, oh. So to all the girls that hurt and be your mirror, see a little bit clearer. The light shines within. There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing. The world could change its heart. No stars, you're beautiful. With stars, you're beautiful. Oh,
That's impressive.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's very, very impressive. I don't know what's my talent, but I have to discover my
We'll find
talent
it.
as well. So, as we conclude the podcast, little Mrs. Environment is telling you girls out there, you should love yourself the way you are. That is what I got from the song.
The stars
And
are
of
beautiful.
course, Ade and Mrs. Kiden give us some of the challenges you face and how you overcome it. In
Okay.
30 seconds time.
Okay, no problem. Okay, before, one of the challenges that I used to have was about school and all these types of stuff because my father left me earlier. So actually, I'm the fifth child to my parents because we are six. So my mom have to take care of six of us. And about education, so my elder sister and others, they joined university, and it is really hard for my mom to pay all the school fees. So I was just studying in a nearby school, whereby it was really hard for me to get good education. So I was just there, and I know God will fulfill it for me. It was my dream to study actually in a good school and study hard and make my parents proud. So that was really one of my challenge. But by God's grace, Punch Investment Company sponsored me for education since primary six, and now I'm in senior two. So I really love that. And two, let me be like last year, one of the challenges that I went through was last year there was some issues that went through my comedies. Actually, my phone got lost and all this, so I couldn't post videos and all these types of stuff. Then I was also sick because my uncle really got me a new phone, but I was sick. I have some problems. I'm pregnant and all these types of stuff. They never understood the problem and all this. That was really a challenge to me. So when I went off for a long period of time, when I came back to the comedy industry, people were like, I went out to give a birth, but actually it never hurt me because I know it's not really what's true.
You have to be courageous as a
Yeah.
girl.
I'm proud of myself and I know what they were saying, it's not good. But I really love my fans because when I went to live, I tried to explain what I went through. They understood me and I was really proud of them. I'm so glad to have them as my fans.
Oh. So, Mr. Ade, what are some of the challenges you faced during your poetry writings and everything, and how do you overcome them?
Well, one of the biggest problems is creating a crowd. This is creating an audience in South Sudan. It's very tough because I feel like people don't take things too seriously.
That's true.
And the first time I came and I started doing, wasn't too far here at the French Institute. We would have it every week, and I remember people would show up, but then it was like same people, like it's a free event, but then they still don't want to show up, and that was a challenge because what's a poet without people, without a crowd, right? Like it feels like I'm doing something and it's not going nowhere and all of that. And then the other challenge too was after when I started publishing my books now and all of that, it was also hard to get readers because people are asking me, you need to write more in Arabic, and I cannot speak Arabic.
Oh my
like,
God! Yeah, that's
so like to even reach that audience too was a different. But then what I just learned is as long as you love what you do and you can do it fully with all your energy, people always fall in line. And right now I feel like I've created a community.
That's awesome. That's impressive. That's nice. So, what is the last message you would give to the young girls out there who are watching live in regards to creative expression?
Your creativity, basically, there's nobody that sees the world from your perspective than yourself, and that is a very big superpower. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best poem or the best art piece or the best song and all of that. But the fact that you've expressed yourself and you've shown your own perspective in that image, that's all that matters, really. Never feel like I have to do this a certain type of way. No, that I cannot be like Kiden or I cannot be like this person. Like, your superpower is that uniqueness in your voice.
Wow, that's impressive. Hello, baby girl. So you should give your last message to the audience out there.
I'd like to tell the audience to support all of us 7 contestants, plus me 8, but I'm not a contestant, who are going to represent our beautiful motherland, South Sudan, in Egypt's Cairo, at the 12th of April 2025.
Impressive. Hello, Monica.
Yes. Just to amplify on what Katrina has said, there will be 7 contestants going from South Sudan to represent our country in the Little Mr. and Miss Africa. It's going to be in Cairo. It will be for a week on the 12th of April. Now, what we want is a little bit of support to support our young girls, just like Katrina and others. A little help would push them so far. We're asking for an amount of $16,555. Each participant would have to pay $1,500 for participation and $865 for their flights. That's a 2-way flight. All this money will cater for all their needs, their accommodation, their feeding, for all this 1 week. We hope that you will be touched to support our little girls so they can bring back the crown home.
If you're touched and you really want to support the young girls representing South Sudan, you can reach us out at Sot Banat platforms or sotbanat@gmail.com. For inquiries, you can look at the screen, have a proper look, and contact us there as well. Thank you.
Edward D. Bono says, "There is no doubt that creativity is the most important human resource of all, and without creativity, we would be stuck repeating the same patterns every time." We would like to thank our guests for being here today and showing the young girls out there that there is no limit to what creativity and your art can take you. It can take you to places, it can give you scholarships, it can help you speak out for someone else, and it can help you empower all the other people that do not have the voice to speak up. As always, we remain Sot Banat. Thank you for tuning in.